Welcome to the channel. Today I've been preparing my bike ready for the up and coming ABR festival that we're heading off to on Friday, so that's our little trip up to Warwickshire. Yeah, I've just been checking over the bike as I do, just making sure everything is fine, but mainly I've been airing out my camping equipment and making sure everything works and that I've got everything that I need. And now anyone that motor camps will know that space is an absolute premium when you're on your bike, especially when you've got a pillion, so you can't use the back seats to store stuff. So I've only got my back box and the panniers and the 2 side bags to use. So having a tent that fit on the bike that was not only light enough to carry on the top box, but big enough for me to use and be comfortable in and store all my equipment, you know, and all those things you need in a good tent. I think I found the right tent. I've used it a few times now, and like I say to everybody, I will not review it unless I've used it and unless it impresses me. So yeah, I'm really happy with this system I've got, the tent, and yeah, let me show you what I've got, and maybe it will help you make a decision in buying a tent. And, you know, if you're going to do motor camping, it may help you, it may not, but I'm impressed with it. Let me take a look and I'll show you what I've got. Now, as you can see, this is the Colman 3-man tent. This is the Colman Darwin 3 Plus. It's great for us. It's a really good size, and as you can see by that vestibule at the front, that's plenty to store all our boots and panniers and bags and everything in. And you've got the height of the vestibule as well, the full height of the tent, which is around 1.8 meters. So you can't stand in it, but you can certainly kneel up. But that front has got ample space for what we need. Again, if you look inside, you can see how dark it is in there. But a little mistake that we made when we first took this tent out, now we had some water on this ground sheet. The reason the water got on there was because we didn't realise that the sides clip up to the vestibule itself. That was a big mistake. Now you can see by the edges of this ground sheet, they will come up and they will clip to the sides of the vestibule. That brings the inside of the ground sheet inside the tent. It eliminates water coming down the tent, running onto the sheet and running inside the ground sheet itself, absolutely soaking all your stuff. So yeah, that was me being a boy, not reading the instructions and just leaving it on the floor. So they do clip up to the sides, creates like a tray, keeps everything really nice and dry. So that's a must when you're putting this together, to clip those toggles onto the like loops provided, and that's a really good porch and lots of size to keep everything stored safely and dry. And you can see by the area, that must be about, I don't know, 1.5 square meters. And we have some curtains on the front here, which is, pull that back and there's a clear window inside. I don't tend to pull those back, just really I keep them closed to keep the heat out. But as you can see from the tent itself, if we go inside and actually have a little look, I'll show you exactly how dark it gets in there. Now I'm not sure what the camera's going to pick up, hopefully nothing, but the only light that comes through on this tent is right at the top. There's an air vent, so you get a little shaft of light come through. But even on a really sunny day like this, I mean it's bright. You can see in there how dark that is. Now that's because the Darwin 3 has a double layer blackout, so on the outer skin you have it blacked out, and on the inner skin it's also blacked out, so there's a double layer of like a black material. I'm not sure if it's coated or sewn in, but it's really effective. There you go, you can just see that shaft of light at the top there. And that's with me just about closing the doors with the camera inside. So you can see how effective that is, and that's so crucial when you're camping. You're able to see exactly. Sorry, I got a bit sidetracked there. The fact that you cannot see exactly what you're doing because it's so dark in there, even at 8 o'clock in the morning when everybody else is being woken up by the sunlight. And it also has the added benefit of having that double layer black coating that it keeps the heat out, so you don't get that horrible sort of heat in the tent in the morning when you wake up, and then once that's in there, you're up. So really, really good on the two fronts. Now as we go around the tent, you can see that it's got its guide ropes. They're attached. Obviously they come fixed to the tent when you take it out of the packet. They're a must, really. I mean, it's not overly windy today. You'll have to apologise for the noise because we are near Gatwick and we've got a lot of aeroplane and road noise. But it's not too windy today. But you can imagine on a windy day, those guide ropes do need to be put out because they will keep it nice and steady. I'll just tell you about a few of the specs. Obviously, this is a capacity of 3 people. This is a Darwin 3. I would say it's more a 2-man tent with a bit of space. I think 3 will be very, very cosy in there. It's polyester, so it's a polyester cover. It's a double cover, so you get the inner tent, which is more of a material. That's got the main blackout material, and then you've got the cover that goes over the top, which is the polyester waterproof cover. So I'll give you a few of the specs of this tent. It's a polyester 70 denier with taped seams. Inner fabric's a breathable polyester. It's fire rated, and the overall height of the tent is 130 centimeters. The length is 325 centimeters by a width of 185 centimeters. The pack size is 57 by 16 by 16 centimeters. But the most important thing, and one of the most important things to me, other than the pack size, was the weight of this tent. I wanted as much as I could get with as little weight as possible. And this only weighs 5.2 kilograms, and that's with everything in there. So that's the poles, the tent, and the pegs. Everything you get in that bag is 5.2 kilograms. Which for me, for a tent this size, is really, really good, because some of the others I was looking at for a 3-man, especially with the coating, the blackout coating, they were coming in at like 7 kilograms, maybe 8. So that was going to be slightly too heavy to go up on the back box of the bike. With all the other stuff I carry, I'll show you a picture of the tent up on the back box itself. I strapped that down with a Oxford cargo net. I will eventually make some adaptations to the box so it would sit on there a little better, but the last trip that we went on, that tent sat up on that back box with no issue whatsoever, so I was quite happy to just bolt it on the top. And there we are, there's the tent closed, all closed up. That's what it'd be like in the evening if you're inside. Again, we find this really snug, doesn't get too warm, as I said earlier. I think the UV rating of this is 50. Now here are the air vents that I like to keep open. They're kept open by a bit of Velcro and like a solid, well not solid, but a stiff piece of material. That keeps them vents open really nice and wide. There you go, have a look up in there. That's where the light comes from, so if you're going to get any light in the evening or in the morning, that's where you get that shaft of light. Again, it doesn't bother you at all. It's still 99% dark in there, so you can't ask much more of a tent. And as you can see, the door's closed with all your gear in there. That's absolutely spot on. Again, you've got the vents on the other side, same sort of mechanism. And last week we had it was quite windy last week. I had the guide ropes out, and these little tabs that hold the vents open didn't move at all. They were nice. And this one vents the front of the tent where the vestibule is, so you don't get no condensation all around your stuff. There we go, Darwin 3 Plus Blackout. So for me, for motor camping, it's an absolutely ideal tent that fits on the bike. It's not too heavy. 2 of us go in there, we've got space for our stuff, and we can sleep in the morning because it's jet black. So I can't really ask for much more of a small camping tent.